going to give you an incident that happened to me a long time ago. Okay, I went with my wife. She had a grandmother that was in a nursing home. And the grandmother was just hanging on and hanging on. She didn't really want to be there, right? When I got there, I noticed that she was holding on to this thing that came down that you pull yourself up on. She would not let go. She was holding on to it really tight. And she would always move her fingers around and all this stuff like that. And I realized that there was something in her hand that wouldn't let her let go. She wouldn't let go of life. And it was clear to see that she wanted to let go, that she was in a very decrepit state, but she couldn't. So I ran my process on that hand. I said, wake up. Okay. What are you? I'm a hand. Okay. I said, who are you? And it kind of woke up and it became a spirit again because there was something in that hand that wouldn't let go. Now, 6 days later, they called us and said she died. She finally let go, you know? Okay, that's one. How about another one? I walked into a house. There was a knife on the counter, you know? And this guy knew these techniques. He had done some of them, but I'm a lot more perceptive than him because, you know, I had a bad childhood. And you become hyper-vigilant, very hyper-vigilant. You become a, what do they call those? A highly sensitive person. That's what they call them these days. So, you know, I can feel stuff way out there because when my father came home, he was a Marine and he was always angry and drunk. He would beat me up, you know. So I had to know where he was at all times. Everybody in my family did. So we became like that. So my radar is way out there and I can feel things other people can't. So I was very, very, you know, hyper-vigilant there, I would say. And I noticed that he had a knife in his house. And I said, when you pick up this knife, do you feel like stabbing somebody? He said, yeah, I do. I said, well, there's a genie in it. You want me to get him out? He said, yes. So I ran my process on the guy. And he was a guy that had been, had some kind of radiation or something. I'm not sure what it was, but he's trying to get away from it. And he was hiding in the knife. But he had an assignment. In order for him to be able to hide in the knife, he had to give out the impression, he had to give out the idea of blood and stabbing and all that stuff. Because the guy that allowed him to stay in there was from the tribe of the Shaitan. And their job is just destruction. They hate people. Yeah, the Shaitan hates people out of the Shaitan regime because he got thrown out of heaven because of them. He wouldn't bow down to Adam as a creation of Allah. Yeah, so anyway, so I ran my process on him, he left. And the guy goes, whoa, he's gone. It's not very hard to do this stuff. It's pretty easy, but you have to have a little discernment and you have to have some sanity about you and you have to have some manners and compassion. Manners and compassion. Because they're beings just like you. They're sentient beings. You got to treat them well. It's not their fault. Okay? So there's a couple of them right there. I could give you a lot more, but I'm going to tell you one thing about them. They like to hide in corners. They like to hide in corners over there and spy on people. Yeah, they're kind of like alarms, you know. Anyway, voyeurs, you know. What do you call them? Voyeurs? Yeah, they like to hide in corners and spy on people, and that's what they do. And they'll try to give you some kind of bad intention and all that kind of stuff. A lot of times you'll see them in the corners. And I'm going to teach you how to see these guys later on. There's the art of seeing. Most people don't know it. There's passive seeing, and there's active seeing. Yeah, talk to you about it later.